Hey, welcome to the Weekly Wave. Let's all take a collective deep breath. In through the nose and out through the mouth. This isn't just another video telling you to move on or just be positive. This is something deeper than that. Something a little more human. This is about the quiet, powerful act of just letting go. Letting go of pain that never says goodbye. Letting go of the control that you never really had in the first place. And letting go of the version of you that no longer fits, but you're afraid to outgrow. This isn't weakness. It's certainly not failure. Letting go is one of the most courageous things that you'll ever do in your entire life. We hold on to a lot of things for a reason, because what we carry, our heartbreaks, our regrets, our old beliefs, they all once served a purpose. Even the heaviest burdens gave us something. Familiarity, protection, a sense of identity. Sometimes pain becomes a companion. We learn to live with it, walk with it, and sometimes even accommodate it. And even when it begins to poison our peace, so to speak, we hesitate. Because at least we know it. It's familiar. And what we know often feels safer than what we don't. But here's the truth. Holding on is often not an act of love. It's an act of fear. And fear, while it may feel protective, rarely leads us to any sort of freedom. Moving on to giving us the illusion of control. Control is seductive. It tells us that if we just try hard enough, think long enough, prepare better, we can stop bad things from happening. We can avoid disappointment. We can prevent pain. But the truth? Life isn't built to be controlled. It's meant to be experienced. We spend so much energy trying to control the uncontrollable. How people feel about us. How the future unfolds. Whether we'll get that closure that we so crave. And in that effort, we exhaust our spirit. Letting go doesn't mean we stop caring. It means we stop clinging. It means we release the illusion that our grip will change the outcome. Sometimes peace begins the moment we stop rewriting the past and start making room for what's real. A big topic is the weight of the past. Some people walk into the present, dragging the past like a suitcase with no wheels. Every memory, every loss, every word they wish they'd said at the time, packed into the bag. And they carry it into every relationship, every goal, and every quiet moment. But you're not meant to relive every mistake that you make in your life. You're meant to learn from them, not live in your regrets. And still, as humans, we don't let go. Because letting go often feels like admitting it didn't matter in the first place. That it didn't hurt, that it wasn't real. But grief and release cannot coexist. You can let go and still care deeply. You can move on without erasing the meaning. Letting go says, I loved it, I tried, I gave it everything I had, but now it's time to carry something new. Some of the hardest things you can do in life is letting go of people, certain identities, and expectations. Not because they were necessarily bad for us, but because they were beautiful at one point. Because they represented a time when we felt whole, understood, and needed. And sometimes we cling not to the person, but to the version of ourselves that existed with them. The laughter, the safety, the possibility. But people change. Seasons end. And no matter how tightly we hold on, we cannot make something stay that was meant to pass through us. And then there are the expectations, where we thought we'd be by now, who we thought we'd become. We hold on to timelines that were never truly ours. We compare ourselves to others on social media who appear ahead, more composed, more successful. But someone else's life isn't your map. Your journey is not light. It's yours. You're running your own race. And it begins the moment you put down the script you didn't write and stop performing a role you didn't choose. So what does letting go actually look like? Letting go is not always dramatic. It's rarely a clean break. It's a lot of times quiet, very subtle, and a very slow and deeply internal process. It can look like choosing not to respond to something that once really got on your nerves and triggered you. It can look like deleting a number you know that you shouldn't call. It also can look like saying no when you used to say yes just to be liked by other people. And lastly, releasing the guilt you've worn like a second skin. Letting go looks like trusting that even without the answers, even without the closure, and even without the apology, you can still be whole. It looks like forgiveness, not always for them or other people, but for yourself. For holding on for too long, for not knowing better in the first place, and for trying so hard to fix what wasn't yours to fix in the first place. Here's the quiet truth. What you're looking for, the rest, freedom, the peace, it doesn't come when everything goes according to plan. It comes when you no longer need it to. It comes when you release the pressure to make everything right and instead allow things to be just as they are. When you stop asking why and start trusting what now. When you finally give yourself permission to close a chapter, not because you've given up, but because you've just grown up. And in that stillness, something truly beautiful happens. You begin to come home to yourself. Not the version you were trying to prove, not the one you performed to be loved, but the real, authentic, grounded, free you. So, use this video as your invitation to take a breath and to truly put something down. Maybe not everything, and maybe not forever, but something. The one memory, the one expectation, that one version of you that you've truly outgrown. Let it go. And when it tries to return, and trust me, it will, meet it with compassion, not shame. This isn't about perfection. It's about your peace. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening and for letting me walk you through something so tender, so necessary. Be patient with yourself. Be gentle with your healing. And remember, letting go doesn't mean you're losing something. It means you're making room for something better. Thank you so much for listening.